Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Before the show starts today, please consider following us on Instagram and Twitter. On Twitter, we are at Red Devs Africa, REDDEVS Africa, and the Red Devils Africa on Instagram. Pretty straightforward. Thank you very much. Now, without any further ado, Liverpool have beat Manchester United 2-0. Liverpool still unbeaten, of course, and United have suffered yet another gutting defeat. If my blood wasn't boiling, I'd be more keen for the show. But what I've learned today is that passion doesn't get you over the line. Passion is not an antidote to a lack of quality. And passion and being up for it is not enough. It's just not enough. And Manchester United was never good enough to win this game. I think a lot of people would agree with the notion that luck was, in fact, on our side today. But for some reason, we just couldn't take our chances. And, I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. How are you guys feeling after the game?
I'm allowed to go first.
I'll go first. I'm a bit more calm than Shani, as I can tell. I don't think it was as bad as everybody says. Because I think, in my opinion, Ola did the best he could do with what we had, to be honest. Maybe not the first half. I think we struggled a bit in the first half. But I do think in the second half, we got much better. Liverpool played very well. Like they did what they do. They moved the ball quickly. They moved a little bit sluggish in the first half, but then they moved it much better in the second half. And we weathered the storm. Defensively, we were very good. And on the transition, I highlighted this in the last show. I said, if we're not good at it, we're not going to get much. And in the first half, we were very poor in it. And in the second half, we were quite decent in it. But the big problem in this game is the big problem United has in general. They just didn't have the quality of players. So I think for the way we're supposed to play, I think we didn't do too bad.
Oh, boy. Johnny?
I'm fucking pissed! I won't lie to you. I'm fucking pissed! This is not good enough. As fans, you can see what the shit is going on in this club. And these fucking owners, this fucking board, and this fucking coaches can't do anything. They can't do anything! It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's making my head sore. As a fan should see it. Heck, when I manage my freaking indoor team, we get the basics right. This team doesn't even get basics right. I understand you don't have the quality to go beat Liverpool, but put up a fucking fight.
Okay.
No, I couldn't have said it better myself. Firstly, I disagree with the fact that the game wasn't as bad as everybody says it was. It was. From a United perspective, it was. This is going to be the first main talking point of the show that I would like to bring across. The formation and how United set up for me was very disappointing. I understand having a lack of quality, but when you're going into a derby against one of your most fierce rivals, your rivals, they've been our biggest rivals since, I don't even know, 30 years ago. You could argue that City are also big rivals, but I think all United fans can unanimously agree that Liverpool's the big one. You don't go into a big game planning to just sit back and soak up the pressure. United already play on the break as it is with the back four. So when I saw the team sheet and I saw a back five, immediately I knew that was a red flag. I knew there was a red flag because what that basically says to me as a fan and as a person who watches football, when a team that doesn't traditionally play five at the back plays five at the back all of a sudden, it means they're scared and they're trying to shut up shot. That's basically what they're doing. They're trying to make sure that the other team cannot score any goals. And also what I would add on top of that is United, you talk about United being so bad on transition, United not having the quality. When you don't have the quality to play on transition and you don't have the quality to create going forward, the last thing you want to do is remove a man from the attack. Like, you need the extra man because of how poor you are. So I don't understand the logic behind Ole Gunnar Solskjaer playing a back five, removing... Why not?
Because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in my opinion, if he played the back four and the back three, there isn't much difference. And it didn't work against Man City and Liverpool and Arsenal. So he was trying something different. In Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's mind, he's not like Mourinho. In Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's mind is like, how can I get the most out of this team that doesn't have the quality? And what he thought is that I'm going to play with fullbacks to give us the numbers on wings and be defensively solid so we can counter. So it wasn't him being cowardly, in my opinion. It was using the best tactic he can use with this team because we can't go head-to-head Liverpool and win. It's not going to happen. Ole knows that.
Bullshit.
agree.
Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm sorry for being aggressive and swearing, but I have to call bullshit because Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not an attacking fullback. First of all, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not an attacking fullback. Luke Shaw is not a centre back. That's number two. Luke Shaw is not a centre back, so he should not be playing in the centre back position.
Not necessarily.
Firstly, he's not a centre back.
We've seen what
centre back.
Yes, but it's about tactics, Marcus. What he was trying to do, we've seen it work before. Gareth
No, it
Southgate
hasn't.
does it.
When did it work? When did it work?
Gareth
We drew to
Southgate
Sheffield playing this formation.
does that.
What?
It worked against Liverpool. We drew with them.
Oh, wow. It
was
worked against
trying
Liverpool.
something.
Did you see the scoreline?
Was trying something different. Yes, they beat
Different
us.
how?
They beat us. but
Different how?
we-
I can give you 4 examples where this formation didn't work. Can I start with Sheffield?
Okay.
When we actually changed the formation and we played better. Can I start with Sheffield? Can I start
Okay.
with Chelsea, where we were lucky and we changed our formation and Rashford scored that amazing free kick in the Carabao Cup? Do you want more examples of this
Fair,
formation
fair.
being a good?
But
Do you
the
want the
4-2-3-1
example today when we
didn't
lost?
work against Arsenal and Man City? The last two big games we've
but
had,
we've
it
got
didn't work.
listen to me. It didn't work against Arsenal and City. I'll give you that. But last year it did work. We beat Manchester City. I don't know if I need to refresh your memory. We beat Manchester City. We beat Spurs. We beat Burnley. We beat Newcastle. All our wins have come from playing a back four, bar the 4-0 against Chelsea. All our wins have come from playing a back four. Back five does not work as far as I'm concerned. And I am disgusted that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would play a back five against a team because he has accepted defeat and rolled over and decided to play for a draw. That is disgusting as a Manchester United manager. You don't go into a derby planning to lose. I'm sorry. You do not go into a derby planning to lose. You're going to the derby fighting.
Opinion, but I don't think he was going to do that, because personally, I would also have considered doing that if I was the manager of Manchester United, because we have a lot of frailties in midfield with Matic. So he was trying something different. I will never have him for trying something different, because personally, I don't think it would have worked. I don't think
it's not different. It's not. We've seen him do this before. It's nothing different. You're wrong. We've seen him do this before. I've given you 4 examples.
Yes, but we've seen it work against Liverpool as well. We've seen it work against Liverpool as well.
It worked against one team. I gave you 4 examples where it didn't work. How is that successful? It worked against one team. I've given you 4 examples where it didn't work. I can give you, how many wins do we have this season in the league? Like 9 or 10? How many wins do we have this season? It's probably more than 1. The fact that we've had more than 1 playing a back four is more than enough evidence to suggest that the back four is the better formation. I don't care what anybody says. We've lost 5 games playing a back five out of 6, actually out of 7 that we played a back five. We won the one against Chelsea at the beginning of the season, and we drew to Liverpool. That's 2 times it's worked. It's failed.
We didn't play against Chelsea.
Oh, we didn't. Fantastic. That means we've never won a game with a back five then. Every time we've gone and gotten a result has been with the back four. So I don't understand what's so different and what's so amazing about a back five. There's no evidence to support what you're saying.
Maybe it would have probably been better if we played the 4. But I won't fault him, because I don't think we played that badly. And the fact that I can see the logic behind it, 2, and 3, the fact that it's worked against Liverpool, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, honestly. I don't think it was that horrible.
You want to draw against Liverpool. You want another draw against Liverpool.
I do, honestly, because I know where we are as a club. We're not going to beat Liverpool. We'll be lucky to get a draw.
I don't want to attack Maloti or any other United fan that, agrees with Maloti's point. But, when United fans start believing in a derby like this, that those type of results and tactics are acceptable, we are failing and we are falling. That is a disgrace. That should never happen. We should always be up for this game, and we should always put everything in this game. I don't accept it. I'll never accept it as a United fan.
Personally,
some guys can lower their expectations, but for me, this will never, ever, ever be good enough.
Personally, I look at it from a different perspective. I think he was trying to win the game, but he did it in a different way. That's what he was trying to do.
Yeah, he's not rolled over. Yeah, we can't beat you fair and square, so let's just sit back and try hit you on the break. Wait, we already do that, so let's try do it even more effectively by playing 5 at the back. Oh, look at us now. It's 2-0 at the end of the game. because we don't have the quality to play a back five. We don't. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not good enough going forward. So relying on him going forward is a mistake. Brandon Williams is still too young. He's not good enough going forward. And I can provide the evidence if you want.
And
Those two players alone are
what
not
that
good enough
formation
going forward.
did was freaking cause confusion everywhere. Like Aaron
It
Wan-Bissaka just
did.
looked horrible.
Wan-Bissaka probably
Dan
will
James
get to
is
this. We'll
a
get to the
freaking
play rating,
disgrace
but-
as a striker as well. It's just it was amateur. That was amateur.
And where does Greenwood fit in all of this? Like, why was Greenwood not playing in the striker? Even in that formation, Greenwood should have been playing because he's a striker, not Dan James. So, you know what? Whether you're an advocate of the back five or not, you could even make an argument that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't even put the right personnel in the right places. I mean, Dan James is not a striker. He hasn't scored a goal since what? That wonder goal that he scored in September for Manchester United. His first goal where everyone was like,
I don't even remember
wow.
his last assist, to be honest.
And now you're going to play him alone up front with Martial in a back five. That's the point I'm trying to make, right?
Once again,
Your team is so bad going forward. You remove a guy from the attack to try solve the problem and rely on fullbacks who are not good enough as it is going forward. That does not make any sense.
I hear your point.
And then,
I hear you.
on top of that, I'm not done. On top of that, you play one of the worst defenders for that, like one of the worst people in our team, and I'm not even joking. Luke Shaw is not a centre-back, but no, let's just give him 4 days of training because he's going to be ready for a Liverpool derby in a position he's never played before. We're going to put him next to Maguire and Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka, even though this is not your cup of tea, you're just going to have to get used to it before the derby. What nonsense. What nonsense.
The only thing I would say is,
personnel-wise,
compared to Luke Shaw today, I thought he was the best.
Yeah, no, he was. He
But,
played very well.
but I still agree with the
I was
fundamental that was wrong.
I was sitting with a Liverpool fan, and he was going and saying Luke Shaw has been keeping Salah out of this game. So I think he played well. I agree with the striker thing. Yes, I can see the logic again. It was all about transition because that was the way to win this game. But it was Greenwood can finish, so he should have played Greenwood there, and he's pretty quick. But once again, I can see where Ole was coming from.
Yeah, you're going to try to put a positive spin on a negative situation like that smiling prat of a manager. Anyways, what do you guys make of Rashford being out of this game? And there is reports coming out of the club, by the way. If you don't know, now you know that he could be out for 2 months with a fractured back. How big of a deal do you think Rashford's absence will be going forward? And how big of a deal do you think it was in this game?
Rashford is like, when you think of superheroes, you think of like, let's give an example, Captain America. He's the captain. He's that iconic figure, and Rashford's like captain of Captain United. He's Mr. United. I think we definitely missed him today. I felt like if he had that Martial chance, it was a goal. I felt like if he was in here today, he would have tried more. We wouldn't have probably played 5 at the back nonsense if he was here. And we missed him a lot. As in terms of the future, we are going to miss him, obviously, but there's nothing we can do. I've seen enough of United now to know that I don't see any change happening. And these coaches, these owners, where we're going as a club, there's no movement going forward. There's nothing. I've got nothing to look forward to.
No, he was a big miss today because I think he would have suited the position that Dan James played it much better because he can actually finish and he's pretty quick. So it would have been good for the counter-attack and playing style. And going forward, we are going to miss him a lot because he scores all of our goals. And without goals, you don't win games. So it would be a very big blow if he's out for 2 months.
Yeah, definitely. That's a huge blow. Do you think Liverpool played exceptionally well this game? They had 11 corners versus our 5. They had 16 shots versus our 9. In terms of shots on target, it was actually pretty even because they had 5, we had 4. They had more possession. Do you think Liverpool actually played us out the park, or do you think those stats are irrelevant and it was actually a close game? Like Ollie will think after the game.
Liverpool could have had many goals in this game, and they are undefeated. They win every game. But especially in this game, and the games I have been watching in the previous weeks of Liverpool, they are not unbeatable. You could beat this team. You can. I can guarantee you can beat Liverpool. This team, they don't look invincible. there's frailties everywhere. There is frailties there, and someone needs to take advantage. And I thought, you know what? If out of all the clubs to do it, maybe my club could see and do something. But clearly, we can't. And but you know what? I don't take anything away from Liverpool. You know what? They did what they did. They got the goals. They did it professionally. They changed it in the second half. So yeah, it's just a GG.
Mm-mm. I think they played very well. I think Wijnaldum was a bit iffy. He was spending too much time on the ball. So I think he was a weak point in the midfield and maybe could have made them stronger going forward. I think Salah was very quiet. He didn't do much. He's always very quiet against us. He scored at the end of the day, but then he wasn't very productive throughout the whole game. But beside that, they played very well. And we made them very uncomfortable. It was how deep we played that they didn't score more. But if we didn't play that deeply and if luck was on their side, they could have run away with this game.
You know what I thought? If I have to compare this match to use a metaphor, if I had to compare it to a cage fight, you've got two great athletes. One of them is in their prime. One of them is slowly in decline. And the one who's in decline is Manchester United. They walk into the cage and they don't even throw a punch. They almost just square up and try to defend and block and block and block and block and block until you go for something crazy. Perhaps maybe you lose your balance and then they decide to go for a shot and they're not even good enough to hit the shot. And then they're back to square one again. You know, it's like, I don't even, that's even an amateurish thing to do in a fighting sport, because obviously to win a fight you've got to be on the offensive. You can't just be on the defense all the time. And I feel like it's the same for football. I didn't see anything from United going forward. I know they had chances, but they didn't take those chances, and that's the point. There's nothing promising about this team for me going forward, especially without Marcus Rashford in it. Especially if we're going to be playing back fives, hoping for a draw against our rivals. That's just even worse for me. But, you know, I guess some people will try and put a positive spin on a negative situation. Like Ollie will probably come out and say, oh, we played with a lot of heart and passion today, and that's what you like to see from the boys. He'll probably say something like that. I do want to bring your attention towards something else, zonal marking. It's something we've spoken about off air. What are your thoughts on zonal marking, and do you think it was a big reason in us losing today? Because obviously their first goal did come from a corner.
No, yeah, it was. I've always said it. It's freaking amateur. You know, like the fans know that zonal marking at United it hasn't worked. It just hasn't worked. It never works. It's horrible. You know, when I was seeing young Brandon Williams and Wan-Bissaka trying to beat Van Dijk in there, are you retarded? Are you fucking retarded, fam? Put Maguire there. What are you doing? It's amateur. And you know, when the fans can see it, and these coaches and manager who are qualified to do this job does not see it and does not make the changes, is unacceptable for a club of Manchester United. I remind you guys, we are Manchester United. We are supposed to be one of the most dominant forces in football, and our legacy is going to shit.
Yeah, because of zonal marking.
And I agree. I think a lot of teams use zonal marking. Man City and Liverpool use it, but then it's not working for us. So you can't just keep doing it if it's not working. We don't have the personnel for it. And like, I think every United fan was screaming. Yeah, I think every United fan was screaming, why is Maguire not on Van Dijk in that corner? Because it was so easy for Maguire. Just strolled in. Like, Brandon Williams is tiny. So it was so easy for him to jump above Brandon Williams and score that goal. So yeah, it was very unfortunate that we conceded a goal like that.
Well, you know, some people might call it unfortunate. I just call it poor preparation, really. Like, you at some point you've got to take accountability for these things, you know. And with United, it happens all the time. This is nothing new. It happens all the time. These guys they always find a way to bottle it, you know. Like I said at the beginning of the show, luck was on our side. Liverpool didn't go 4-0 up. They struggled to score and take their chances. And Manchester United, whether you want to believe it or not, still had a chance to come back in this game for pretty much the whole 90 minutes until Salah scored that second goal or whoever scored it. So it's just disappointing. Anyways, the player ratings. I think we can move on to that now. David De Gea, I think he was splendid, but David De Gea out of 10.
Oh, my boy did everything he could today, honestly. And I thought what I loved about De Gea today is when he went up for that ball and he got that foul on Van Dijk and they scored and the ref didn't give it. And he went straight to that ref like he was going to knock him out. That's what I loved in this game. You know, I thought David De Gea was splendid. I thought that was the David De Gea of old. I don't want to fault him. He did concede 2 goals, but fuck it, David De Gea was, for me, it was great. I'm gonna give him an 8.
And I agree. 8. He didn't put a foot wrong. And
He was more of a
save,
captain than Maguire today.
yeah, that save was splendid. It's what he specializes at. So I think he deserves an 8.
Yeah, seems fair to me. Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the right. Out of 10.
My boy, it wasn't his best game, but subject of horrible formation and horrible tactics. I thought he just didn't look good today. Give Aaron
He almost doesn't know what to do in the back.
Yeah,
five.
it's
He
like,
took so long to get back.
it's not his fault.
out
Like,
of
I don't want to
place.
blame him. But yeah, 5. And for one,
And I agree.
that's a nightmare.
I agree. I think if Ole really believed in what he was trying to do, he should have played Dallo there. Because Dallo is a specialist in that type of position. He can cross like nobody else in this club, to be honest. We haven't seen much of it because he's always injured, but he's really good at crossing. So I think maybe Dallo would have been better for that position. But yeah, he did seem a bit lost. He did make 1 or 2 tackles there, but yeah, wasn't one of his best games. So I'll agree with the 5.
Yeah. Lindelof, I think it was, out of 10.
He was all right also. 5. I thought, he was the weak point in that back line. But also, I think he was also just confused, because he's so used to having Wan-Bissaka to cover on the right side. But today, because Wan-Bissaka had to go so much, play like a freaking winger, it was just...
He yelled at
horrible.
Wan-Bissaka at one point.
Exactly.
For going
and that just shows the confusion. So yeah, 5.
I admit they were very confused, but to be honest, I didn't see what he did wrong. I thought he had a clean game. He did what he had to do. Defensively, I feel like they were very solid. So we conceded 2 goals. So I'll give him a 6.5.
Interesting. Harry Maguire in the middle. I can't believe I'm saying that, but out of 10.
It's a tough one. I thought when he had to do things, I thought he did it well. As a captain, I expected more, especially in a game like this. This is your debut as official Man United captain, and I didn't see anything that showed that he was a captain. I think back what I think of a captain and a leader. Show ruthlessness. He showed like that command in the team, and there's like no backbone in this team. There's no backbone in this team. I swear, like if I had to go play at United, I would straighten this team out at my young age, and that shouldn't be happening. I would be giving it to these guys and telling them this is not good enough, and that was Maguire. But solidly, I think he had defensively a solid performance, but as a captain in this type of game, he was like irrelevant. So 6.
Yeah, I think as a captain, he wasn't great. He wasn't as Trent as commanding, but he had a good game. Much like Lindelof, he didn't do much wrong. I think the defensive work was very good in this game. I think going forward, yeah, he struggles with that. So I'll give him a 6.5 as well.
Yeah, he'll probably be on Twitter again saying, "Oh, unfortunate that we lost. We played so hard. We go again," something like that. Anyways, Luke Shaw. Shaw as a centre back. I can't believe I'm saying that.
But he was unbelievable today. I thought Luke Shaw was brilliant. We don't get this game from him often, but today he was absolutely brilliant. I thought he did nothing wrong. Luke Shaw, he put Salah in his pocket. That's what he did. He put Salah in his pocket. And yeah, so in a bad performance though, I'm going to give Luke Shaw a 9, even though it was a bad game and everything, but I can't fault Luke Shaw today.
I think why Gareth Southgate and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer do it is because when he did it at England, there was Gary Cahill, and he's very slow. So he thought that Walker positioning is not bad, and he's very quick. And he worked well with it, Walker, and I think it was the exact same thing today with Luke Shaw. I think he was brilliant. I think he was our best defender there. I didn't see him do much wrong. And sometimes when he had to go forward, he did do that, and Brendan Williams would cover. So I thought he was pretty good. I will give him a 7.
7 and a 9 for Luke Shaw. Pretty high ratings. Brendan Williams on the left. Out of 10.
For his age, coming to a game like this, having to do the role that he had to do, probably has Brendan Williams played in a back 5? I can't
I
remember
don't
if he
think so.
even has, but if this was his
No.
first time in that formation, again I thought that side of our defense was like it was impenetrable. Salah and everyone was
Yeah.
having a lot of problems from that side, and I think that was down to Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams together, and that was an amazing job they did. So yeah, I don't Brandon Williams for a game like this, he actually showed heart as well. He showed
Yeah.
fight, he showed everything. So yeah, 7.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He did show heart. Like you can see he loves his club, and I always appreciate that. And yeah, he played well. I think he's made. Yes, obviously he's a better left back, and left backs have to attack. But I think he's a good what's it called again? He's a good wing back, and I feel like he's made for that position. So he had a pretty good game. Didn't do much wrong. Defensively, he was solid. Going forward, he was solid. So he also deserves a 7.
Yeah, I don't see too much wrong with that. Nemanja Matic in the middle of the park.
Yeah. It's 5. I don't even want to say it. Yeah, just 5.
Yeah, Matic and Fred were the problem. Like, I don't
Yeah.
mean to be a dick. Fred got better, but Matic and Fred were the problem because we couldn't get out, and that was their responsibility. I feel like it only got better in the second half because Ole started playing Martial and James a bit more wide, so there was more room for the ball to get forward. But in the first half, they were very narrow, and Matic couldn't do anything. He could not get the ball forward, so I think 4.
Yeah. 4 and a 5 then. I forgot which one he gave his rating first. 4 sec there. Fred, out of 10.
5. Also, that wasn't his best game. Then the amount of times I wanted him to move that ball quicker, it was so bad. It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Like, I don't mean to bring in my Indo team all the time, but when you look like my Indo team is nowhere near the quality of these guys. Heck, we just do it for fun, because we love the game. But we do those simple things, right? It's just ridiculous, and it's just disappointing.
First half, he was very poor. Second half, like we had so much of the ball, but then the problem is we weren't moving it quick enough. If we were moving it quick enough, we would have made so many more chances. So, and in the second half, he was very skillful. He was holding the ball properly. They couldn't get him off the ball. But when you had to make the killer pass, man takes 5 seconds or 6 seconds on the ball. For what? I don't know. Match was also doing it. I've said this before. Match is very inconsistent about it. But Fred just needs to learn to move the ball quicker because he can play long balls, but he can't play short balls into those tight areas. And if he wants to play for Manchester United in that position, he's going to have to learn that. So I think he deserves a 5.
Yeah. Pereira, out of 10.
Oh my god. You should have had a goal. You should have actually had 2 goals because I thought that shot where James just blocked him. I don't know, like James has played for Liverpool today. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, that was a nightmare for Pereira. Like I always say, you get that good version of Pereira or you get today's version of Pereira. And it was just a stinker, fam. I wanted to see Mata in this game, personally, over Pereira. But yeah, I don't think Pereira did anything. I'm going to give him a 3.
At least Lingard didn't play.
Weirdly, as much as Lingard can't make those cute passes, in these type of games, he runs into channels where he becomes a threat. And I'm not advocating for Lingard to play because he's very bad and his numbers are very poor. But what Lingard offered in Man City, Pereira just didn't do that. Yes, he got into some dangerous positions here and there, and he should have shot, and maybe he didn't, or he skied the shot. And that one where he used he tried to use stronger foot. Yeah, players do that, but you can't, as Marcus keeps saying, you can't get sympathy points. So I don't think he had a great game. I'll give him a 5.
Yeah, it makes sense. All I would add to that is I don't think Jesse Lingard would have done that well today either, because whilst Jesse Lingard is running around like a little kid in the playground, Matic and Fred still aren't getting the ball up there because the formation and the shape, I personally don't think it was conducive to the ball rotating out quickly. Unless the plan was to pass to Brandon Williams or Wan-Bissaka and let them open up the pitch so that there's more space down the middle. Either way, it didn't work, and I think that was a big reason why Manchester United couldn't retain the ball. They obviously always can't retain the ball anyway, so, I'm just wasting my energy there.
Personally,
Tony,
I think...
Martial. Yeah.
Sorry,
You can go.
I'm sorry. It's going to be a bit off topic,
okay.
but personally, I think, and I hear you guys' points. I'm not justifying it. The reason Ole uses formation was not more so defensively, but it was for more attacking numbers from Brandon Williams and Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, it makes sense, and I know that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, we played positive attacking football. I wouldn't call it counter-attacking. It's not negative, like he did the last time when he was called out. And yeah, look, man, that's your opinion, and I respect it. You know, what else do you want me to say? You know, Tony Martial out of 10.
Oh, should have had a goal. There's no excuse. I thought of all the players to score that chance. It'd be Tony Martial. He just seemed so irrelevant in this game. I don't know how much that is down because of the formation we played and the style we played today, but that was horrific. He didn't even have a chance to freaking put up his hold-up play. You know, it was just shocking. It wasn't his best game, and you know, Martial will probably get attacked by a lot of United fans in this game. But yeah, I'm gonna give him a 5. Did nothing.
I think hold up was very poor. He didn't do it as well as he usually does, and yeah, like to be honest, I wasn't surprised. His finishing is pretty poor. Like sometimes he'll have sparks of an amazing finish, but then as a striker, you have to do it consistently, and he just doesn't do that. So he really needs to work on it. So I really wasn't surprised when he missed that shot. Yeah, he didn't do much. He was a bit irrelevant in the game. He deserves a 5.
Yeah, that leaves us with the speed merchant. Hashtag one trick pony. Hashtag he runs really quick. Hashtag the Flash. Dan James.
Boy, Dan James. And this referee today was Liverpool man of the match. You know, they were amazing for Liverpool. I couldn't believe it. It was ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen a Liverpool performance like that.
What you giving him like 9 out of 10?
Dude, yeah, it's like a 9 out of 10 for Liverpool. You know, him and the refs, they were buddies, and you know, who knows what was happening. No, but on a serious note, Dan James is a fucking joke today. That is not good enough. That's a fucking joke. You should have played him through. You should have. His decision is poor. Everything was just fucking poor, man. Greenwood, if I was Greenwood, and I had to sit on the bench and look at that performance and still came on late, I would just be, I wouldn't even be motivated because that's just fucking shite. You know, he's like, you know, I've slated Jesse Lingard for things like this in the past, and I'm not going to neglect Dan James because I liked him in the past. You know, that's not good enough. James, you're getting a fucking -3. -3. You're horrible. I wish you didn't even play today.
I think what Ola should have done is try play Pereira up high as a false 9 and kept Martial and Dan James more wide because it would have suited James. Narrow, he was offering nothing. Like, he just didn't know what to do. He'd run, but that's it. And he wasn't very productive about his runs. So it was a very poor game. He deserves a 4.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't have made a difference because Matic wasn't passing anyways. But all I would say to like Dan James with regards to him is, you know, if you've got any Dan James agendas after this game, can I just remind you and play the devil's advocate for a bit? This kid does come from the championship. So, you know, all you Dan James fans, I don't know what you were expecting. Like, he comes from the championship. He is not a Premier League player, and he's not a proven Premier League talent yet. And this is more indicative or symbolic of where we are as a club rather than, you know, how bad Dan James is, because I don't think you can expect a kid to come from the championship and start every game for Manchester United in some pretty weird formations. To be fair, we've only played a back 5 like 4 or 5 times, I know. But it's just, it's unfair. It's unfair is what I'm trying to say to Dan James. He's not a striker. He's not a right wing, yet he's played in both those positions for Manchester United. And the one position he's actually good at, he never gets a chance to play because, you know, well, Superman's injured now, but because Rashford plays on the left. And it's just sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's really sad. I feel sorry for the lad, but I agree with the ratings, you know. I don't think he deserves much sympathy. Anyways, man of the match. I'm guessing Sean is going with Luke Shaw. And ratings
I'm
going
also
with
going
Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I was going to do ratings off the bench, but I don't think bench players did much in this game.
All I can say about Oli is, like, I can't believe he left the subs for so late. Like,
So Oli out of 10.
Muller to go first.
I'm going to go deaf by the time this podcast is done because of Sean.
I apologize.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
As I've said, I don't have too much problem with the formation, but I do think it did take too long to change things. Like I felt like, why is it taking too long to change the shape? And when he did change, and he brought on Mata, Mata was getting into good position. His passes. I was saying with Liverpool fan was like, Mata still got it. Eh? He just doesn't have the pace, but the skill he can pass. Like, yeah, that's exactly what we've been saying. So he should have done that sooner. So because of that, I'm gonna give him a 0.
Can I say something before Shawnee goes?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that thing that Ollie does? Like, what is that thing that he does on the sidelines where he's got both his hands? You know, like I don't know how to explain it because obviously we don't have visuals.
Boy.
We just have audio.
You know
But
what
he
it
does
is?
this weird thing with his hands where you're like, what?
I know what it is, boy. Thing is, man like Ollie is Twitch Prime sub to Ninja or Mixer now, and he does the Ninja emote. You know the Ninja emote in Fortnite? That that's what he does with the two hands. That's what Ollie does. I'm telling you, Ollie loves Ninja and Fortnite. And when things are going badly, he's doing emotes. You know, his brain is malfunctioning because he doesn't have much of it.
I think it's called the pom pom.
It does look like that, to be honest. You look so agitated today.
I don't know what the thing is he does though, because whenever Ollie's vocal on the sidelines, he's always either doing a thumbs up or he's doing that thing with both his hands, and it's like, what are you doing? Are you like trying to control the high pressure line or something?
Yeah, you did it today. It was.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Oh my god, it's funny. But anyways, yeah, Shawnee, out of 10, Ollie.
You know, before I give him the rating, you know what? Let me not just rate him. Let me tell you why I don't rate Ollie. You know, Ollie as a manager we know he's not good enough. Tactically, he's clueless. He's got no idea.
Tactically, I would say.
Yeah, he's
Naive
naive
is the best way to
tactics.
describe him.
And you know what the thing is? You know why United also struggle if they go 1-0 down? Is because when their heads drop, they don't have a manager or a leader who they fear, you know? They can just carry on being laxy-daisy because they know that there's not a worry in the world playing for this football club. You're literally being a millionaire for free. Ollie doesn't strike any fear into these players. He doesn't strike anything. And Ollie can come out and say, you guys don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Let me tell you something, fam. I would go, if I had to see you in real life and I had to smack you or shit in your wife's chest or something, you wouldn't say anything to me because that's what you are. You wouldn't. I'll be honest, I would smack your face left, right, center. You won't do anything. It's ridiculous. There's no leadership in Ollie. There's no fear in Ollie. You know, you just player management is horrible. You know,
a smiling brat.
You will take Ollie for a clown. It's like when you're at school and you have that one teacher, you know, you just don't respect. She'll be like, keep quiet. You just
it's usually the PE teacher, actually,
yeah.
funny enough.
Yeah, and the PE teacher, because that's what Ollie is. But you know, nothing's going to happen. And that's Ollie, because nothing ever happens with Ollie. You look at Ferguson, you look at Klopp, you look at Pep. When things are going badly, those type of managers react and they put fear. And look like Simeone also. If you had that performance, it'll not be had. Those managers will not have it. You'd be out of that field. You'd be out of this club. You'd be done. Your career would be done. I would finish. I would slate you. I would make you know about that performance of you having a shit performance, let the whole team and thousands and millions of fans around the world down because of your lack of leadership in it. And Ollie, you're letting everyone down. You're honestly letting everyone down. Like, if you're a United legend, and I'll never take it away from you as a player, but as a manager, I beg you leave or quit this job or get fired. You know, leave with some dignity. You know, because this is ridiculous. You are not a manager. You are not a leader, and you will never be. It's just, you know, sometimes that's how life is. It's harsh. So yeah, you must just get out. In terms of rating today, what is the highest I've ever given Ollie in terms of negative? I think it could be you know what? I'm just gonna say not applicable.
Not applicable.
Yeah, I can't with this man anymore. Like on a real note, if a fan was even a manager, you'd see a better performance. You'd see more heart. A fan would be slating. You'd be slating those players. Maybe not so much like but like if I was the manager of United today, I would have been furious. I would have not had that performance.
And like, if anybody thinks Shawnee's just being emotional right now, like I can give you a simple test, you know, for science. Go onto Twitter, and you know, like if you have the time to do, you don't even have to sit there for a few hours. Just go onto Twitter, you know, every now and then, maybe tomorrow as well, and go look at every United player's social media page, or not every United player, but go to Maguire, go to Rashford, go to, I don't know if Martial posts consistently or not. Go to Dan James's Twitter. Go to all those players' Twitter and look at what they tweet out after losses like this. And I know what you see on Twitter might not necessarily be what you see in the changing room if you're a fly on the wall, but it's pretty fucking bad at Manchester United. You know, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does not evoke any passion in the way he carries himself, in his body language. He doesn't evoke any of that out of the fans. So, and you can see he doesn't evoke it out of the players, you know, so Johnny's spot on there. And there are no repercussions, you know, it's almost this nonsensical blanket statement of the future. And like that it's okay to lose to Liverpool because in the future we'll get better. In the future we'll be as good as Klopp. Imagine that.
Every week that United plays, we as fans and everywhere, we don't learn anything. Like I hate to go back to my Indo team, right? But my Indo team the season just started off now. You know, I play, I captain, I manage also. But my Indo team were winning 13-2, right? And they started becoming comfortable. And I didn't take it. Like you can go ask those two players in my Indo team and they started getting comfortable. What I did, I subbed them both off. I wasn't having it. I don't take it. And that's what you should do as a manager, you know. Sometimes, you know, now and then, yeah, but we are not in a position to be playing games.
This is not good enough. You could probably come late to training and Ollie would give you a high five and make a joke about how late you were.
Exactly,
you know,
that's the thing.
Like his players probably don't even show up to training on time. You know, I heard Van Gaal, if you show up late to Van Gaal's training, he sends you home. That's a real manager. That's a real leader. That's a real no bullshit. This is Manchester United. We want to win games. And, you know, to anyone who, you know, like, listen, your opinion is your opinion. And I struggle to respect the idea that anyone would go into a game against the rival expecting a draw. That is horrible. There's nothing wrong with being realistic and saying, look, because I'm thinking pragmatically, Liverpool's one of the best teams in Europe and they probably will beat us. Fine. I can't argue with that. But to say I expect a draw, like that's what I want to happen. That's like when I'm walking to Anfield, I want my team to come out with a draw. That's disgusting. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's disgusting.
Did he say that?
That should never happen. No, but Ollie didn't say that. But when you're playing a back five against Liverpool on the premise that it worked and you got a draw last time, that's what you're implying. You're using the same tactic you did last time in hopes to get a result that you did last time. Because as I've said before many times on the show, and I won't spend too much time on it, a back five this season hasn't got us a win. So the only evidence Ollie has to go off of the back five being a good idea in this game is a draw. Which means, you know, to me at least, he wanted a draw out of this game. And
I won't go back. We already had this conversation really, so I don't want to go back and forth. But I'll just say, I don't think that was the logic, but I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah, and the thing is with Ollie also, you know, even when Ollie wins a game, right? You know, let's say Ollie is winning one of those games where we're winning 4-0 up, and the players do something wrong. So you see a performance in the game where, like, you see Lindelof not winning headers, or you see Fred not moving. He's still smiling about it. He's not acknowledging how bad it is. Now, in the team, like when they're also winning, but if someone does a dumb back pass, or you can see that they're constantly doing something that's wrong, I'll still slate them for it. You know, besides the performance, because if I don't slate them, they will not get better as a player, and I'm not doing them any favor. I'm not doing myself any favor. And you know, I get exactly, and I get that Ollie, his style of management, and he even came out and said it, is that he doesn't like being that ruthless, aggressive guy so much. He's more like, you know, arm around the shoulder, be like, it's okay. And I get it, because there is a time and a place for everything. But you need balance. You need balance of the love, and you need balance of fear, and that's how you earn respect in the middle. And Ollie just doesn't.
I agree with that. I won't defend him there. I don't think he is commanding enough. And Shoni's right. You need balance, because that's how Zidane is. Zidane is an extreme on the touchline, but you can see that he has that ruthless side, and Ole lacks in that department.
Exactly, and especially in respect, like, works always. Like, you know, when we played my Indo game again, my Indo team respects me because, you know, I know when to be ruthless, I know when to put my arm across the thing. But your opponents respect you. You know, after that game, our opponents came and said, "Wow, you guys are actually really good. You shouldn't even be playing in this league. You know, you should be playing." He was making jokes of, he's taking the piss, playing in the local, like, you know, PSL league here in South Africa. But you know what I'm saying? You earn the respect, and you need it from balance. And Ollie, this Mr. Positivity, hope in the future, just, you know, being blind and oblivious to everything that's going around is ridiculous.
Yeah, Klopp is his role model, dude. He never expected to be Klopp because Klopp is his role model.
Like,
in the press conference leading up to the game,
I would never. I'd be like, So
Yeah.
like I'm here to be better than Jurgen. I'm here to end Jurgen's Klopp's reign. That's what I'm here for.
It's funny you bring it up because I don't know if you guys watched the press conference or not, but he was asked, what do you think of what Klopp said about the fact that he struggles to break you guys down sometimes? He took it as a compliment. He was like, yeah, that means we're good at defending and we're causing Klopp problems. That's a good thing. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, you're literally bragging about sitting deep against another team. I'm lost for words. I'm lost for words.
Okay, can I ask this? Is there a problem with Mourinho's tactic?
Well,
Currently,
which
yeah, I think.
Yeah,
like,
currently,
you mean,
yes. When was the last time
tactic.
Mourinho won a fucking Premier League?
Okay, so is the argument
Hello?
that it doesn't work? Is the argument that it doesn't work anymore, or that playing defensive football is just not it?
My argument is that you shouldn't be a manager of Manchester United coming out and bragging about a good defensive performance when you've lost 2-0. That's my argument. My argument is that you shouldn't be coming out and taking things as a compliment when what they're actually saying is this team just sits back and they don't do anything going forward. And we're the
fair,
ones taking the initiative. That's
fair.
my argument.
But
I'm not
Jose
talking
Mourinho,
about...
Jose Mourinho would do that because he knows that his game
But
is...
you know what's different? You know what's different about Jose Mourinho?
The aim of his game is defensive, so it's about working on it.
But do you know what's different about Mourinho?
Uh-huh.
Mourinho is a ruthless manager who actually gives a damn about bad performances.
No,
Mourinho is
no.
a true competitor.
Fair.
Mourinho's
Fair.
teams actually score goals going forward. They actually do something going forward. All these
Fair.
teams don't do anything going forward. They're toothless. Today's was an example.
No, I don't know, eh? I think in recent performances, I think this is going to sound insane. I think for that style, Ole's been playing it better than Jose Mourinho has. He's been playing it better than Jose
because
Mourinho.
he's done so much better than Mourinho. He might win the EuroLeague and he might win the Carabao Cup.
No.
Tell me more.
I'm just looking at the tactics for the tactics themselves. And when I compare Jose Mourinho doing it United and compare Ole doing it, I think Ole has been doing it better.
Where's your evidence?
Tactics, positioning, how we
You have to back that up with actual statistics. You can't just say, because as far as I'm concerned, that's your opinion, not fact. You have to back up your facts with actual evidence. You have to say, look, we've created X amount of chances more than we did under Mourinho. Therefore, this tactic is better. You have not shown that. You're just going off of what you think.
I don't have the facts right here. But the only facts I can give is Chelsea, Man City, Chelsea again, and Tottenham.
Yeah.
That's the only facts I can give.
Can I give you facts? Mourinho didn't have a 27% win percentage when he was manager of Manchester United overall. That's fact number one. Fact number two, Mourinho won the EuroLeague and the Carabao Cup. Fact number three, Mourinho actually made top four once. Now, I'm not saying Ole will never make top four. I doubt he will. I'm not saying he won't. We'll talk after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has left Manchester United and after he's been fired about how much better he was than Mourinho at this tactic. And I'll show you. You said he does the tactic better than Mourinho.
Yes, the tactic, but Mourinho winning all those things, there's so much more to it. So yes, I don't think he's a better manager than Jose Mourinho, but I was arguing the tactics specifically and how he acted to the compliment. Because there's so much more to Jose Mourinho winning those things. It's not just the defensive football. So I was saying, I feel...
Yeah, but there was a point where Manchester United went like 18 games unbeaten and they drew so many games under Jose Mourinho because they were defending very well.
Not really, no. I disagree. I disagree a lot. In that time we were playing like that, it wasn't because we were playing defensively. It was because Zlatan is not very quick, so we have to keep getting the ball to Zlatan, and he delays the attack.
Well. Are you saying we didn't defend well?
We did defend well, but the main focus of those games was attacking, in my opinion.
I didn't say the main focus wasn't attacking. I said we defended well, and you said you disagree. So you twisting it's because you're on the defensive.
I don't think we played that style in those games. That's my final argument.
Yeah, but then, so what's your point? So Ollie's fucking playing the tactic better than Mourinho. Well done. Like, am I supposed to give him a medal now? Mate, yeah. I'm sorry for being toxic, but I don't get why you're defending this guy. I really don't. We've just lost to Liverpool, and you're defending this guy. He's such a prat. He's an actual prat. I wouldn't be surprised if he's smiling right now. You know, I'm genuinely sorry for being toxic, but it's the emotions of the result and the passion and the intensity. And the fact that I have a friend in this Discord, in the Skype call, actually defending. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tactics and saying that he did it better than Mourinho. Wow.
Yeah. I just don't think we played that badly. I just think Liverpool are just miles ahead of us. And we lack quality.
But that's another reason why you shouldn't condone what Oli is doing. You shouldn't, because it's not good enough. He needs to go.
It's just, listen, man, it's your opinion. I ain't going to tell you what to believe and what not to believe. If you think we didn't play that badly and we actually played okay today, it's your opinion. But, get down in the comments down below with what you think. It was a heated podcast, because that's what these kind of games do to you, and that's what these kind of results do to you. Magnificent, well, maybe not magnificent in some people's eyes, but I think magnificent from Liverpool because they're still unbeaten. Rubbish from Manchester United, as usual, because we're inconsistent FC. There isn't much more to say, guys, so please do leave a like on the video if you enjoyed that. And if you're a Liverpool fan and you had a good laugh at our arguments, do smash that like button. Please do subscribe. Please do follow all our socials. We are the Red Devils Africa on Twitter and the Red Devils Africa on Instagram. And I think I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.